Vision. Oh, too late. Apple Vision Pro pre-orders have sold out fast. Although I didn't pull the trigger right away, and I was still able to get my hands on a little Vision Pro action. Lewis, in fact, if you're here watching the stream, let's see here. There it is. There's my Vision Pro order. Apparently, I have a small head. I got a solo knit band in size small and a dual loop band in size small, which I am a little unsure about. You know, like I have never been accused of having a small head. Like whenever I buy hats, I have to put them on the smallest or on the biggest setting that they have, you know, on like that last little peg with those plastic straps. So I'm surprised that
Really?
yeah. I can virtually never find hats that fit my giant my giant head.
But what I read is that if you do an in-store pickup, when you go to the store to pick up your order, they'll verify and double check your sizing.
Oh, interesting. So I wonder
And
if
that's
they
something
have
that people who are getting it delivered don't get.
Okay. I wonder if they have the Vision Pro in one box and then the straps in another box, and they give you
They
like
do,
the right
yes.
accessories. Okay.
If you're picking it up in the store, then they basically like do the boxing there for you. Like they put the Vision Pro in, and then they add in the size of light shield that you want and your lenses and all that.
Okay. I got swept up. We all knew this was going to happen. I couldn't say no. But the question is, I mean, there were a ton of comments in. I posted this on the all new X, and there were a bunch of comments, people accusing me of buying it just to return it. Look, that is an option. It was interesting. After the last show, we got a lot of comments that said we were being too harsh on the Vision Pro, and I was like, dude, where have these people been for 7 months? We've been talking about the Vision Pro for so long, and we almost get zero feedback. Nobody cared for the longest time. But of course, now that the marketing is in effect, now the product's here, people are more interested, which I'm happy about. Like, I'm not trying to be negative about the Vision Pro. I'm trying to be honest. And it is an interesting product. I think my biggest challenge with the Vision Pro is not the product, it's the price. You know, $4,000 for, which is what it cost me almost with tax, is a lot to pay for a device that I'm unsure is going to be something I use all the time. Like, so that's more of my issue. But I'm super psyched to try it. I'm really excited to see if it's something that I'll use often. So finally, I saw one pop up. Shout out to the Cult Club and Captain Dr. Zach Hicks, who let me know that even though pre-orders had been pushed out to March, there were still some that were showing up to be picked up in store much earlier than that. So I put my pre-order in 2 days ago, I think, and my pickup date is February 5th, which is the Monday after the Friday they get released. So I was like, shoot, if they're going to give it to me in February, I can't say no. So I went with the 256 gigabyte version. I see the chat's asking me if that will be enough. I don't know, man. I somehow think probably not, but I wasn't going to spend an extra, what was it, $200 for 512 and maybe another $200 for 1 terabyte. I just couldn't stomach spending $4,500. And then you got AppleCare, which is $500. And I would say that's something to consider, considering if you drop the thing, you got to spend almost the same price as the Vision Pro to actually get it repaired. I think like it could be up to $2,300 or something to repair the Vision Pro. So something to think about. I don't know. Lewis, did you end up buying one? I thought that you said that you were thinking about it, but I didn't know if you had actually pulled the trigger. It sounds like maybe not, but now you're considering it.
I got up in the morning. I did that ridiculous neck-breaking face scan and went through all this crap. And at the end, it says, you know, you got to put in your Vision Pro or your prescription eyeglass prescription, right? And okay, great. You know, it just asks basic questions like, do you wear glasses? Are they readers? Are they prescription? You know, do you use them for far away? Do you use them for close up? Of course, yes, I use them for everything because I can't see nothing. And then it says, does your prescription have a prism? And yes, it does. I click yes. It says, sorry, Zeiss cannot accommodate that at this time.
There's no way for people with prisms to see. We apologize for your blindness.
It's impossible. It can't be done. And so, you know, and I thought as, you know, 5:30 in the morning rolls around and I'm getting more and more irritated and antsy and you know, I'm watching time slip and things. I'm like, well, I could lie about it. I could But in the end, it's just like it's just not worth it. It's not worth it if especially if I'm gonna walk in there and they're gonna put on glasses that make me see screwy anyway. If I put in a wrong prescription or whatever. So I might go into the store as soon as I can. Schedule like an in-person demo because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can actually get a different prescription that doesn't have that prism. I remember when the optometrist goes, "Oh well, let me throw a little prism on there. How's that help?" Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I find sometimes that kind of helps. It's like when your eyes are as bad as mine, maybe you shouldn't be wearing one of these things anyway. That might be the bottom line.
I think I read that the Zeiss corrective lens inserts only go to either plus or minus 8, and I think you said that one of your eyes is like over 9, isn't it?
I think it might have been 12. I mean, my eyes go to 11 when it comes to bad for sure. This is one problem I've had with these types of devices forever. When I went to CES years ago, I walk up and I put one of these things on. It's like not only am I blind, but I'm like twice as blind in one eye than the other. So it's really it's hard to like come up with a sort of quick fix for my eyes, and it just may be that I'm not made for this in the first place, which $3,500 later is maybe a good thing. But I still can't wait to try it. I'm still excited about the device. I just really I don't imagine it being something that I want in my house necessarily. So or that I would use like you're saying. I don't think it's something I would use all the time. Anyway, so short story long. No, I did not order one. I cannot apparently get one that will work with my feeble eyes, and I might go try one anyway and see if it's really a problem.
Well, if you want to try one, so I was in the Apple Store over the weekend and I asked them about this exact thing. I'm like, I heard there was going to be demos. How do these work? First of all, no one at the Apple Store had any idea. It took them like 15 minutes to meander their way towards an answer, and I'm not even sure I'm not even sure this is accurate information, but this is what they told me. I said, how would one come in and try on the Vision Pro? And he said, well, you have to make an appointment. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? And he's like, you have to come into the store. So it's like a ride at Disneyland. You got to go to the ride, or at least this is the way it used to work. This is the way it used to work. It doesn't work this way now. You have to go to the store, tell them you're interested, and then they will assign you a time later that day. So you got to go to the store physically, get a time,
really?
And then you got to come back to the store later that day to try on the Vision Pro, which...
Not online? You can't make the reservation
They
online?
told me that you cannot do it online, that you can only do it in the store. Does that make sense to you? That seems odd to me. So
it seems weird to me, too. I mean, maybe they're trying to drum up business at some of these dying malls.
Maybe, or I don't know if they're they're expecting to be so overwhelmed with demand that they don't want people trying to do this online because it will take months and months for people to come in and actually try it. And maybe they know that the people who are most willing to or most likely to buy it will be there to try it on in person. I have no idea. I thought that was very odd. So if you want to try one of these on, I guess you have to go to the Apple Store physically in person and make an appointment, and then hang out at the mall all day long until you got to like come back and do your appointment. I was kind of surprised that these sold out so quickly. I mean, we all expected them to sell out, but they sold out almost instantly, and the shipping dates were pushed back to March fairly quickly.